Required listening with Amazon Music.
Dad music again?
The greatest guitarist of all time.
Wait, who?
Alexa, add this song to a new playlist.
Sure, what's the new playlist name?
Jack's Intro to Classic Rock.
Adding Stepping Stone by Jimi Hendrix to Jack's Intro to Classic Rock playlist.
Amazon Music, the simplest way to listen to the music you and soon he will love. New customers start your 30-day free trial at amazonmusic.com. Renews automatically, cancel anytime.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Hidden Traps is now available in paperback and ebook from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. you'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now, 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Sometimes riders feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
Just a young gun with a quick fuse. I was uptight, wanna let loose. I was dreaming of bigger things and wanna leave my old life behind. Not a yes sir, not a follower. Fit the box, fit the mold, have a seat in the foyer. Take a number.
Hello, America. This is Rick Robinson. We're about 60 seconds away from the beginning of the America Off the Rails show right here on KLRNradio.com. It was a short week last week. Things were crazy. It was terrible. I am so sorry. I had drunk people taking out my internet on more than one occasion. It was just really kind of weird. Somebody was joking with me about living in a one-horse internet town. I guess I kind of do, because right now I pretty much have one option. And unfortunately, a drunk guy on a tractor kind of put the kibosh on it for several hours throughout the week. And then I had a bout with allergies and all kinds of other things. And then surprise visits from nieces and nephews on Friday night. So even though I have some soundproofing, my nieces and nephews have superpower screeches. So anyway, we are going to start things off here in just a minute for the first show of the week. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. Stay tuned. We got lots of stuff to talk about. Apparently, Shift for Brains is having a meltdown right now because the congressional folks are shutting down the Russia probes. After looking through tons and tons and tons of information, they've decided they can't find anything. So, Shift for Brains, or the leaker, or Mr. Adam Schiff, or whatever you prefer to call him, is apparently having a meltdown on TV right now. We have some interesting information that I found out from Rush Limbaugh today in regards to the Fusion GPS folks. Apparently they've been around longer than we thought, but we've got all of that to talk about and much more coming up here in just a minute on America Off the Rails. We'll be right back to start the show.
Thunder, feel the thunder, lightning and the thunder, thunder, thunder.
Our rights come from God, not the government, so why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their healthcare. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your healthcare, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your healthcare while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
Keep on doing what you do, Rick. You're my favorite host. Favorite host.
You know this freedom is anything but free. What we have here depends on those who will fight for what they believe. When we stand together, there's nothing that we can achieve. This nation of people standing as one.
All right, so for those of you that have been trying to listen live, I do apologize. This is Rick Robinson, and we have officially now started the show. Now that I've tracked down a connection issue, because everything looked like it was good on my end, and I could even see the levels moving, but then I realized that nothing was transmitting. Do you ever have one of those days where you just kind of want to just go back to bed? I was actually having a really good talk with myself because I didn't realize nothing was transmitting until just about now. So you know what? We're gonna just take a beat, and then I'm gonna, we're gonna do this again. Is what we're gonna do. So hang on.
Keep on doing what you do, Rick. You're my favorite host. Favorite host.
This freedom is anything but free. What we have here depends on those who will fight for what they believe. When we stand together, there's nothing that we can't achieve. This nation of people standing as one in the name of liberty.
All right, folks, welcome to the program. I am Rick Robinson. We're live right now on KLRNradio.com. For those of you that have been listening live, nobody else is going to know. All right, so anyway, this is the first show of the week, and it shows because we had a pretty big technical issue just a moment ago. But we've gotten it squared away. We are broadcasting now because I actually have it pulled up on my phone, and I can monitor it now. The interesting thing is everything looked like it was going out just fine, and then I started getting all these pings about dead air, and I'm like, but I can see myself talking. So anyway, yeah, I know. I just said, shh, don't tell anybody, and then I tell everybody, but I'm allowed. All right, so anyway, we are live right now on KLRNradio.com. We're still going to get you the full hour. We're just going to wind up doing some editing as we go. So as I was saying when you couldn't hear me, it's been an interesting week. I actually had my internet pretty much taken out by a drunk guy on a tractor last week, and it's been kind of hit and miss ever since. I think they finally got it squared away. It's been pretty solid for the last few days, and then for some reason the information from my microphone, even though it was showing up on the console here, wasn't making it all the way to the internet. I finally figured out what was missing. Thank you, Voice Meter, for making my life difficult yet again. And so from this point forward, we're just going to pretend like nothing bad ever happened. So we've had a lot of stuff going on in the news this week. One of the biggest things is, we've had, I'm just going to kind of start from the beginning. So I was on Jess's POV last night. For those of you that may have missed it, you may want to tune in and check that out. It was kind of an interesting experience wading back into international stuff. I actually used to talk international a little bit on the show when it would actually kind of coincide with American politics. But I've pretty much let that go because, that's her wheelhouse and her bread and butter, and I don't want to step on anybody's toes. But she invited me on last night, and we had a pretty good conversation. The funny thing is it actually ties into some of the stuff that I wanted to talk about today. Because there's some things that you guys may not know. Because, some of you may not have been paying attention to things all the way back in 2012, because some of you have just now come to the age where you're starting to think about voting. That's right, we have young millennials that listen to the show. We also have old folks that listen to the show, and pretty much everybody in between. But the interesting thing is, if you rewind all the way back to 2012, we had a sitting president who was running for re-election, basically telling everybody that Russia was the best thing since sliced bread. And, everybody was talking about how cool Putin was because he was riding around in pictures with his shirt off, riding horseback, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. So we had candidate Romney who was telling everybody, you can say what you want, but the simple fact of the matter is Putin is not a good guy. And Russia is one of our greatest geopolitical foes. Barack Obama had the greatest one-liner I think he'd ever managed to pull off during a debate when he basically point-blank said that the 1980s called and they wanted their foreign policy back. Now, it was a great line. It scored wonderful points and it made all the media rounds, but at the same time, it was a blatantly false statement to make because Barack Obama knew and understood exactly how dangerous Russia was. And we know this based on some of the things that have happened during the run-up to the 2016 campaign cycle. They knew that Russia was going to try to interfere with the election. They didn't necessarily know how, or they didn't admit how. As a matter of fact, Barack Obama poignantly said more than once there was no way that Russia could interfere with our election cycle. Yet somehow now the Democratic talking points are that they did it. We know they did it. Now we just have to prove it. And anybody says that they didn't do it, they have to disprove it. The problem with that, when you really stop and think about it, is it's impossible to prove a negative. So anybody that's on the Never Trump side of the equation, or the TDS side of the equation, or the resistance side of the equation, because, in my opinion, they've pretty much all become the same thing. When they start saying, well, prove to me that he didn't collude with Russia. I can't, because you can't prove a negative. There is an absence of proof that he's done any of these things. So much so that Congress just folded their Russia investigation, which has led Adam Schiff to be freaking out and having a meltdown during a press conference. So Schiff for brains is kind of irritated because he's no longer going to be able to leak information, because the funny thing is nobody knew who Adam Schiff was until information started being leaked, and now all of a sudden everybody knows who he is. Now, it's up to you in life as to how you choose to be remembered. He chose to go down as a guy that basically broke the law to make himself famous. So if anything will ever come from that, I do not know. But still doesn't change the fact that we now, as far as Congress is concerned, they look at hundreds of pieces of information. They've interviewed 70-some-odd people. They can't find any connection between the Trump campaign and Russia as far as any type of potential collusion. So they have opted to stop the investigation. Now, what does that mean for everything? I don't know, because we still have Mueller running amok. I have my doubts when it comes to Mueller, because the more that we see about his connections and his ties to everything, the less I feel he's going to be legitimate. But I don't know, so I don't want to say too much about that, because I honestly don't know. Now, at the same time, going back to this whole Russia thing and the campaign cycle for Obama and Romney, there's some new news that's just come out about Fusion GPS, which actually kind of freaks me out a little bit. So we apparently now know that Obama hired Fusion GPS to dig up dirt on Romney. Now, this actually comes from Rush, and it's from the Daily Caller, so take it with a grain of salt. The Obama campaign, this is actually Rush, and he says, get this. This is the Daily Caller. The Obama campaign, are you ready for this? This bombshell? I have to explore it more tomorrow. It's been learned. Wow, I didn't realize Rush talked in such broken language. It's been learned, a new book, and by its kickoff, and by Isikoff, and David Korn, a couple leftists, their book, they claim Obama hired Fusion GPS to dig up dirt on Mitt Romney. That he used the Perkins Cole law firm to hide the payment to Fusion GPS, and the Clinton campaign later did the same thing to investigate Trump. So this Fusion GPS thing, this isn't a new thing. Now, I want you to let that sink in for a second. We're now starting to see things being uncovered that apparently Fusion GPS has been being used for opposition research now for, going on 4 or 5 years? For 2 different campaigns? Now, there's nothing wrong with using a firm for opposition research. The issue is, with the Trump campaign, everything got ramped up to the point where they started taking information from a foreign national. They basically used falsified information and what they knew were bogus claims to get FISA warrants. Now, you can say whatever you want, but the reason Congress is shutting all this stuff down, or they're starting to, is because they've realized that there's no legs to any of this. Now, does that mean that he didn't do anything? No. But it means they can't find any definable proof that he has. That's one of the things that's concerned me all along when it comes to this Mueller investigation, because when it comes to something like a special prosecutor, they can pretty much do whatever they want. Flashback to Bill Clinton. The original investigation into Bill Clinton had nothing to do with what he eventually got charged with. It had to do with the fact that they uncovered that he had sexual proclivity in the Oval Office, and they called him in front of the Senate to answer for it, and he basically said that it never happened. So, and I don't want to get too sidetracked with this because I've talked about this before, but let this sink in for a second. An attorney wasn't smart enough to plead the Fifth when it came to actions that he may have taken in the Oval Office. Now, there's a reason that I believe that happened, but we don't have time to talk about that on today's show because it's a bit off topic. We've talked about it before, so if you want to check the archives, you are welcome to. You can actually find most of the archives on our Spreaker account, so you are welcome to check those out anytime you want. We're going to take a really quick break because at this point I'm pretty sure I'm long. It's going to be kind of hard for me to keep up because of the technical issue, so the breaks are going to be a little bit off today. We are still going to get the full hour in, even though I was talking for a few minutes with nobody able to listen. This is America Off the Rails, and the show went off the rails in the beginning. Ain't that the truth? We'll be right back. We're going to pay a few bills. Don't go away.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
All right, folks, welcome back. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. That's right, we got a little bit of a late start due to a technical issue. Want to say hi to Ron in the chat. Also, Al was hanging out in the chat for a bit. Thank you for being one of the folks that let me know that we were having an issue. We seem to have it fixed now, so we're going to keep things going and actually try to get the full hour in. Because, the next show coming up behind me is a drop anyway, so it won't really hurt anything too much. Now, as far as what we've been talking about for the moment, we've been kind of all over the place, mainly because I was having a really good kind of show flow, and then I realized that nobody could hear me. So we've been talking about the rewind to the Russia the Russia issue under the 2012 election cycle between Barack Obama and Mitt Romney. You know, back when Obama was saying Romney was crazy and didn't know what he's talking about. In 1980s, one of their foreign policy back. Now we have the entire left thinking that Russia's out to destroy us. The funny thing is, a lot of us have never really had much hope when it comes to Russia. One of the things that I actually talked about last night with Jess, and if I'm repeating this, I'm sorry, but I think this was something that I said during the technical issue that you guys couldn't hear, was that I've always had kind of a mixed bag when it comes to Russia, especially after Vladimir Putin came to power, because the issue is Vladimir Putin cut his teeth on with the KGB. That type of training never actually goes away. Those are some bad boys. They're not your normal everyday average human beings. They're actually trained to be rather ruthless. So the scariest thing about that is, on top of him being involved in the KGB for a very long time and now basically leading that entire country, we also, in the beginning of the Glasnost Perestroika era, we have the West pouring all kinds of financial backing into the newly free Russia. And now all of a sudden they have all of this capital coming in, helping them modernize their businesses. They're getting all this tax revenue from folks coming in and, putting in westernized businesses and doing this, doing that. So they have all this new income and all these people helping to build up their infrastructure and doing all of these great things for Russia. But so what's Russia been doing the entire time? And if you go look, you can find supporting information for this. They've been building up their military equipment like crazy this entire time. And unlike us, when Russia cuts the military, they do it in a very smart way. We usually do it from the top down because the people at the top are usually the ones that we're paying more money. And we just assume we can promote from within the ranks and bring people back in to lead things, etc. When Russia decided to start cutting their military when they were going broke, they did it from the bottom up. So they let go of all of their newly trained people, their peons, so to speak. And I'm not saying that to speak ill of the military. Everybody that wears a uniform, as far as I'm concerned, is a hero. Because you guys are, you've signed a check with your body that hopefully at some point you never have to cash. So I understand that. But what I'm saying is they left all of their infrastructure for training in place, and they have all of their top brass. So all they've got to do is spin up a draft, and they can have millions of people ready to go within a few weeks. Whereas with us, we've got issues with command structure. I mean, you say what you want, but you've seen it rearing its ugly head with all of these incidents with ships crashing into each other and ships running aground and all these different things that have come along over the last few years. That's because we have outdated equipment, we have antiquated command structures, and we're just overtaxed. I'm not bashing the military. I'm just stating facts. They are stretched way too thin. Russia, on the other hand, has basically just been sitting here and stockpiling weapons and building things and getting ready for whatever their eventual plan was. And I think we're starting to see some of that plan now. They've started, because under Barack Obama, when we decided to pull away from the world stage and start backing ourselves off other than as the World Apology Tour, Russia stepped in and they started trying to exert some of their geopolitical force, and they started trying to involve themselves in elections and do all the things that America was doing. Some of us didn't even know America was doing those things, which is the scariest part, the fact that we didn't know. But it's even worse when you stop and think about it, because it's one thing when somebody that you somewhat agree with their ideals is doing it, but it's another thing entirely when somebody like Russia is doing it. Because make no mistake, there are hardline folks in Russia that are dreaming for the day that the communist regime comes back. And I happen to honestly believe that Putin is one of those people. Now, you can call me a tinfoil hat guy, whatever you want to do, but I'm telling you, with what we just found out happened in Great Britain, you tell me I'm wrong. So we had Theresa May yesterday calling out Russia for poisoning a former Russian spy, basically going to the point where she nearly declared it an act of war against the sovereign nation of Great Britain. She went right up to that line. She tiptoed right up to it and did the ballet toe pick and just stopped right there. But she didn't quite cross it. Now, we have Rex Tillerson, who just last night stated that he was siding with Great Britain in regards to Russia's actions. And now we have Tillerson, who's been sacked. Sorry, I said Rush. Sorry, I was thinking of Rush Limbaugh a minute ago. But so Tillerson gets sacked. So, and some of you right now are wondering where I'm going. So let's back up a little bit again to, another conversation that I brought up on Jess's POV last night. I have a liberal friend who basically pointed out to me yesterday that they believe that the whole reason that Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump have been basically talking trash to each other and threatening each other was at the direction of Putin, so that they could build up this tension, and then eventually there would be talks to make Donald Trump look more in control when it comes to foreign policy issues. Now, I know what you're saying. That's crazy. I didn't say that to them, but I personally kind of think that's a little out there myself. But the reason I bring this up is because when Tillerson's sacking was announced today, I saw the leftists coming out of the woodwork, and the Never-Trumpers coming out of the woodwork, and the resist folks coming out of the woodwork. This is because he sided with Great Britain. Trump is in Putin's pocket, and he was afraid they were going to have to enact Article 5 of the United Nations Charter, and therefore he fired him. That's not why he fired him, though. You can tell yourself that's why he fired him. I will point blank tell you why he fired him. Donald Trump does not like having anybody in his corner that isn't in his corner. Tillerson had come out very negative and opposed to the idea of this unilateral meeting with North Korea. That was enough to set Donald Trump off. Because Trump doesn't like to be questioned. Trump does not like to be second-guessed. Trump is a narcissist of the highest order. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm not saying that as an insult. It's just a fact. I'm not even necessarily saying he doesn't have grounds to be a narcissist, because the guy's gone out of his way to build several successful businesses, and I know all of you will look at his laundry list of failures. Look, let me tell you the one thing about somebody that's successful. It's the fact that no matter how many times they fall down, they keep getting back up. Trump isn't a failure because some of his businesses have failed. Trump is a success because no matter how many of his businesses have failed, he's kept swinging until he's gotten where he is right now. You can like him, you can love him, you can hate him. I don't care, because personally I'm rather indifferent. But up until now, he's done a pretty bang-up job as president of the United States. I'm still really on the fence with the tariffs idea. Everybody that I talk to that's much smarter than me when it comes to economics says that it's a terrible idea. But the funny thing is, everything that everybody ever said that Trump has tried to do that was going to be this terrible idea that was going to kill the country has done the exact opposite. We have companies reinvesting in America for the first time since I can't remember when. And I'm not talking about foreign companies like Toyota and everybody else. I'm talking about actual American companies coming back home and putting money back into the American economy again. We've got bonuses and raises galore going off all over the place because of the increase in the competition for the job market, because there was a glut in unemployed people for a long time, so wages were stagnant. Now people are going back to work in record numbers, and all of a sudden wages are going up. Hell, I just saw Target raise their minimum wage to $12 and plans on being at $15 an hour by 2020. It makes me want to go to work for Target because I make less than that now. The 15, not the 12. I'm not gonna, because I like the work that I do during the day. Sometimes, but it's just, I'm watching all these wages go up, and everybody's wondering why we have people that are leaving left and right, because they're going back into private sector because they can make more money. So yeah, say what you want about Trump, say what you want about the Tillerson move. I know why he did what he did, and it was because he doesn't want anybody in his corner that isn't actually in his corner. And Tillerson, as far as Trump was concerned, overstepped in regards to this issue. All right, so we've hit what should be pretty close to the bottom of the hour thanks to the technical issue. We're going to take another really quick break. Actually, I'm a little long, so we're going to take the shorter break. Then we'll come back for about 5-6 minutes, take the longer break, and then we'll start wrapping things up. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
All right, folks, welcome back. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We're still live right here on KLRradio.com. The show will run about 5-6 minutes longer than usual so I can get things rounded out for the affiliates thanks to the technical issue that we had at the beginning. However, we're going to continue the conversation here, and so far we've been talking about the Rex Tillerson firing, the news that Russia may or may not have poisoned a former Russian spy in Great Britain. Now, the thing about it is, because everybody keeps asking, well, how do we know for sure Russia did this? At this point, it doesn't really matter whether Russia did it or not. They were the only ones that were supposed to have had access to the chemicals that we're talking about, and ultimately it's their responsibility that those chemicals got out and somehow made it into Great Britain, which is why Prime Minister May was as upset as she was yesterday in the audio that has been making the rounds. I'm not going to play the clips because I'm sure you guys have heard them by now. But at the same time, you know, it's a scary time that we live in when you really stop and think about it, because it just, you know, we've got Libya that's basically been unleashed thanks to the Obama administration suddenly deciding to put pallet loads of cash back into their economy. Thanks, Obama. We've got North Korea that up until now has been on a really lax leash. I think these tariffs have China scared enough that they're finally starting to listen to Trump when he says, we're going to do something about this together, or I'm going to do something about it by myself. And honestly, you know, I've mentioned this before, but I think Trump is using the tariffs kind of as a stick. So he's using them to get people's attention to start renegotiating better deals and make sure that America isn't the one getting the short end of the stick all around the world. Because let's face it, all these countries that are making noise about tariffs and everything else, they already put tariffs on our stuff. But now we have certain countries that won't even allow a lot of our stuff that we make here to even be sent over there. But we're still supposed to be taking their stuff because it's supposed to be better for the economy. Look, I don't have an issue with a lot of Trump's America First policies, and I know that I'm going to get hate mail because I've gotten it the last time I said this, and somebody's going to say, well, you're nothing but a Nazi. That doesn't make me a Nazi. I'm not socialist, not even necessarily nationalist. I'm just saying it makes sense for the policies of your country to best support and protect your particular country. That's like all these people that keep talking about all these things that we need to do for all these illegal aliens. As far as I'm concerned, we don't do anything for illegal aliens until we're taking care of our veterans. You know, there are ways to do this. And there are ways to do this right. And for those of you that are getting ready to call me a socialist, I don't care what you call me. The simple fact of the matter is these people are the reason you got to sleep in your nice, warm, cozy bed, and half of them are not getting medication they need, not getting the help that they need, and they're sleeping on park benches and under overpasses. That is a problem for me because they went to work for us. They came home, and now we've left them in the cold. Before we give all these benefits and all these things to people that have broken the law to get here, why are we not taking care of our veterans? It's not like they haven't earned it. Haven't they? I mean, I'm not saying we should give them something for nothing. These people put their lives on the line, some of them for decades, and we're leaving them sleeping under overpasses. We're leaving them sleeping on park benches. We're leaving them with PTSD so badly they can't even be anywhere near the sound of a firework going off without going into some sort of an attack. This is bad. For everybody from the left that keeps wanting to talk to me about how bad it is for these dreamer kids that got drug across the border, and it wasn't their fault, it was their parents' fault, their parents did it, their parents made them do it, it's not their fault, it's nobody else's fault, it's the parents' fault. I don't want to hear that crap, because most of these people that we're talking about, they're not children anymore. Most of them are between the ages of 18 and 35. That makes them adults. That means if they want to find a way to become citizens in this country, they have the ability to do so. Maybe it means they have to leave for a little while. I don't care. Because we have people in the streets right now that are homeless veterans that are starving, dying in our streets, while you're telling me about these dreamer kids that are adults that have had better lives than these soldiers have ever thought about having, and you want to talk to me about how we need to take care of them. I don't want to hear a damn thing about the dreamers until we have taken care of our veterans. And I'm not saying that just to say it. I'm saying it because it's the truth. We should be taking care of our veterans. Our congressmen and our senators shouldn't be getting gold ticket health care. Our veterans should be. Our congressmen and our senators shouldn't be getting hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in retirement benefits, but our soldiers damn well should be. It's no different than the sports entertainment complex that generates millions and millions and millions of dollars a year into this economy, and it's all being poured right back into the people that made the sports great. They're making millions of dollars a year, but you know what? The teachers that gave them the tools that they needed to be able to get to that stuff are living on pennies, coming out of their own pocket to make schools function, spending hours upon hours there before school and after school to make sure that everything's right for these kids. We have our priorities backwards in this country, and it's terrifying to me that we keep wanting to talk about how we need to make things better for these illegal aliens, but we don't have schools that can teach our children proper things. We don't have teachers that are making a livable wage, and we have veterans dying in the streets. Now, you tell me where our priorities are. All right, we're going to take another really quick break, then we're going to start moving towards wrapping up the show. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. Back in just a few. God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their healthcare. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your healthcare, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your healthcare while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm. But even then, he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying out?
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me.
All right, folks, welcome back. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. All right, so we're going to spend the next few minutes just kind of going through a few things that have kind of popped up on my feed while we've been doing the show. This one I had to share with you because it's absolutely hilarious. This actually comes from a fan account of Vice President Pence, and it actually has screen captures of everybody's favorite squid-loving person, Kurt Eichenwald. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you should Google it sometime. Kurt Eichenwald, and this was from December 10th, 2016. We're going to pull this up, and luckily there's screen captures here, because he's actually blocked me because I sent him a squid GIF, and he didn't like that very much. So if Trump appoints unqualified Rex Tillerson as Secretary of State rather than Romney, we have to ask if Russia has its own man in the White House. So that was 2016. So now, the funny thing is, so Trump fires Tillerson, and then this is his reaction today. This is from 6:22 a.m. today. By firing Tillerson one day after he publicly stated that Russia was behind a WMD attack on British soil, we now have proof Trump is colluding with Putin. I don't know if he did in the election, but he's doing it now in front of our eyes. He's Kremlin-owned. No, Sparky. Sorry, it didn't have anything to do with what Tillerson said in regards to Great Britain. It had more to do with the fact that Tillerson came out in staunch opposition to Trump's unilateral meeting with North Korea. Say what you want about the North Korea unilateral meeting, because I know lots of people have an opinion on that, and everybody's like, oh my God, if this was Obama, you guys would be having a fit. Well, yeah, we would have been, because we would have been concerned that Barack Obama would have gotten on his knees under the table and pulled a Monica Lewinsky on the midget. Just saying. I'm trying to make it radio suitable, but, you get where I'm going with this. The dude spent an entire, 3 months going from country to country, climbing under the desk and saying, let me make you feel better since America's this big meanie. So, yeah, we had issues with him setting up unilateral meetings. The thing about it is, I don't really consider this a unilateral meeting, because the entire world knows it's about to happen. If they want to get involved in it, if they want to make recommendations, sure. I mean, we're part of the UN, so if they're like, well, we don't really think you should be doing this on your own, well, you didn't make it happen. So what do you want us to do differently? Because it's not like we went and looked for this meeting. The mental midget of the North, remember, this guy right here.
I'm so lonely.
Everybody started laughing at me when I played this sound effect for him, but I want you to remember something, because way back when all this first broke out, I told everybody this was his cry for attention. It's parenting 101. There was a new parent in the house, so he wanted to see exactly how far he could push his boundaries, and it became a cry for attention when he realized that he couldn't push around this one the way that he pushed around the last one. So now he's ready to talk. Now, is there anything that's going to come from it? I don't know, because I don't trust the little shot-put-sized man any further than I can throw him. And that's not to say that I couldn't throw him very, very far, but it still doesn't mean that I trust him, because I don't know what his actual motivations are. But I do like the fact that we finally have somebody in the White House that's managed to get his attention. Because up until now, he's been the one putting out all these videos about how he was going to kill America, and he was going to blow us up, and he was going to... I mean, come on. We're talking about Trump and a few harmless tweets making fun of the man. This guy's government was putting out videos showing D.C. being hit by North Korean missiles. And we're talking about a few tweets. Or we have been. Now we have Kurt Eichenwald, or as I like to call him, Squidward, telling everybody that, well, since Trump hired Tillerson back in 2016, this proves he was in bed with Russia. Says the guy who wants to be in bed with squids. And now in 2018, since he fired Tillerson, he's proving that he's in bed with Russia. We don't know if he was in bed with him during the election now, even though I said that this proved that he was back then. But we know he's in bed with Russia now. Too bad I'm not in bed with squids, thinking Eichenwald the whole time he's making these tweets, probably. But it's maddening to me to watch the mental backflips of the people that hate Donald Trump. The mental backflips are astounding to me. because I don't hate the man. I don't necessarily like the man, but he's president of the United States. And in a lot of ways, he's done some really, really good things. And again, I'm still really, really on the fence with the tariffs. But I honestly, after watching the way he works for about the last year, I think I have it figured out. He's using the tariffs as a club to get people to the table. Now he's got China in line with North Korea, which has caused Kim Jong-un to finally sit up and pay attention. Because up until now, China's been saying one thing to us and saying something else to North Korea. We know for a fact now what China's been saying because they've actually started putting out statements that are able to be picked up by the North Korean leader. So it doesn't matter if they're still talking out of both sides of their mouth, because now the North Korean leader can see proof of the things that they've actually been saying on the world stage. Now, will the tariffs eventually hurt the economy? I don't know, because it could lead to an all-out trade war. I don't think we'll get there, to be honest. I think Trump's, as a businessman, I think he's too smart for us to get to that point. I hope that I'm right. I really do, but I honestly don't know. All right, we're going to take another really quick break, and then we're going to go ahead and start working on wrapping things up. Like I said, we're going to run a few minutes past the top of the hour, so I still have everything put together for everybody else. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We'll be back. Got to pay some bills.
But even then, he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
All right, folks, welcome back. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. Well, believe it or not, we are just about out of time for this particular broadcast. Don't forget, though, it's Tuesday, so I'll be back with you here in a couple hours for the Jen and Rick Show right here on KLRNradio.com. Want to remind folks, apparently there is a scheduled walkout tomorrow for a protest against gun violence that's going to be taking place in most schools across the country, apparently, at least based on what I've been seeing some reports of. For those of you, because I'm sure there's some of you that are kind of confused as to what you should do as a school-age student during the walkout. My recommendation would be to go ahead and participate in the walkout, but maybe put together some signs, talking about, protect my life, arm law-abiding citizens instead of trying to disarm them. I actually have to give Ben Shapiro a shout-out because I just saw him say something similar on Twitter. But it's a really good idea, so I would actually encourage folks, if you're on the fence about what to do about this walkout that I guess has been scheduled for tomorrow, put together some signs, organize your own counter-protest. Or, for those of you that are complete bookish nerds like I used to be, keep your butt in class and learn. I'm not sure the teachers will still be there with you, because I think they're pretty much in line with the whole disarm everybody, That, and, as you guys can tell from the background music, we are just about out of time. But one last thing I wanted to talk about, and, we say this pretty much to close every show lately. The scary thing about the libs at this point is, they've completely decided that, Trump is Hitler, but they also want Trump to disarm everybody. Why would you want the guy that you say is Hitler to take everybody's guns away? Alright, so that's going to do it for this particular episode. We had one other break. Because of the technical issue, we're going to move that one to behind the show, so I can get at least the run clock back to normal, even if the break schedule is going to be a little weird. Want to thank everybody for taking the time to tune in. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We'll be back with you for the Wednesday edition, and also back with you here in a couple hours for the Jen and Rick Show. That's right, folks. It's Tuesday, or as I like to call it, no longer Monday. We'll see you guys here in just a bit. Coming back for Jen and Rick. Stay tuned.
Till the wheels fall off, till the spotlight fades, I will lift your banner high, Lord, I'll lift your banner high, and till the walls crash in, for the rest of my days.
Screw you guys, I'm getting home. Later.
Game over, man. It's game over.
Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their health care. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your health care, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your health care while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Required listening with Amazon Music.
Dad music again?
The greatest guitarist of all time.
Wait, who?
Alexa, add this song to a new playlist.
Sure, what's the new playlist name?
Jack's Intro to Classic Rock.
Adding Stepping Stone by Jimi Hendrix to Jack's Intro to Classic Rock playlist.
Amazon Music, the simplest way to listen to the music you and soon he will love. New customers start your 30-day free trial at AmazonMusic.com. Renews automatically, cancel anytime.